In this class we want to talk about social entrepreneurship. Now this is quite distinct from the business entrepreneur. The business entrepreneur is a person who is alert to business opportunities, to profit opportunities. The business entrepreneur is very proactive commercially and whose orientation is towards making a profit and the sustainability of the business. Social entrepreneurship is at variance with this. The objectives of the social entrepreneur, as we'll see as we go through the slides, is more towards providing a public service or a public amenity or good, and looking towards the sustainability of that provision. So it's quite distinct from the business entrepreneur. We'll see how the contrast as we go through the slides. So social entrepreneurs are publicly recognized for their contributions to improve the welfare of communities. That's what social entrepreneurs do. They try to improve the community. They try to provide facilities within the community that will enrich the standard of life within that community. So their focus is to help, to deliver perhaps a product or a service that was hitherto not available. Social entrepreneurship is related to the creation of social value. Through the activities of the social entrepreneur, the society is improved, facilities are better, so that there is more cohesion within society, there's less unfairness, there's more opportunities for the people living within the community. There is a benefit flowing from the activity of the social entrepreneur. Their motivation, the social entrepreneurs, their motivation may be derived from to promote some social ideal or project. That's what they want. Social entrepreneurs are individuals who think, what can be done for the community? How can the community be improved? The services within the community be improved? So they're looking to promote the provision of those services within the community. They also want to improve a social situation so as to improve the quality of life of some section of the population. It could be they wish to improve the facilities at the local school, or build a swimming facility for the community, or better provision of a library or a medical centre, whatever it is. So they are trying to promote this ideal. The social entrepreneur is not focused on profit or personal gain. I say it's not they're not focused on profit. Well, sometimes they have to run what looks like a business to anyone else, but it is a business, but the profits are going back to finance the social objective. So sometimes there is a business, but it's not really making a profit, it's making a surplus, and that surplus is going towards the provision of some societal gain, some societal improvement, a better library, a better school facility, better roads, whatever it is that the community needs, good drinking water and sanitation, or whatever it is. So the social entrepreneur may be focused on profit to finance the benefits of the project that's been planned. But we can say almost for definite that the social entrepreneur is not motivated by personal gain. They're not doing this to get rich. They're not doing this to make a profit for themselves. Clearly, of course, their social status will be enhanced by their activity. People will respect them and think highly of them. But that may not be the motivator that leads to this. It may be simply down to a good deed on the part of somebody who thought about the problem and is trying to solve a problem within the community. Because the social entrepreneur has different motivation to the business entrepreneur, there is a problem of precisely defining the social entrepreneur. It makes the work of us in studying the social entrepreneur very difficult. We have to try and work out exactly what is the motivation. And as I said, it could involve running a business, trying to generate a surplus on the business, or a profit if you like, and then ploughing that back in, not into profit payouts to shareholders and so on, but instead pouring the profits back into the community to provide some service. Maybe that's the way it's going to work. Or it could be the social entrepreneur is adept, very skillful at negotiating with government agencies and with charities and so on to try and raise the finance for a particular project. But we have got an issue of definition that needs to be looked at. With the business entrepreneur, we simply said a business entrepreneur is someone who is alert to business opportunities. With the social entrepreneur, it's somewhat more complicated and also a little more vague. They are people who are trying to use their skills and their talents, which are very similar to the business entrepreneur, but they're using those to try and make the community better, to add some facility to the community. Now, the features of social entrepreneurship. Well, they are motivated to promote some social project. That's what the social entrepreneurs do. They are trying to provide some facility or some benefit to the community from the provision of some particular project. As I said, it could be new library or better school facilities or better water supply or whatever it is. So they're trying to promote some social objective, and they're motivated to do this. It means that they're not profit driven. They may run businesses to try and generate surpluses to pay for the social project, but they're only doing that to get the revenue to promote the social project. They're not doing it to make a profit. If they do run a business to try and generate the surplus to help them to pay for the social project, of course they're going to need commercial skills. They're going to need the skills that we would expect the business entrepreneur to have. So there is an overlap between the two. The social entrepreneur may have the same skill sets as the business entrepreneur, but the social entrepreneur is using the revenues generated to provide some provision within the community, some new facility within the community, whereas the business entrepreneur may be taking it in profits. Generally speaking, the social entrepreneurs have good communication skills, and they're capable of innovation. They're capable of solving problems and being innovative. But they also have a very strong desire to succeed. Many that we can think of who have done a lot of good in various communities, they have had strong determination to succeed. When perhaps other people would have given up, they have continued. So social entrepreneurs have those attributes. They intend to deliver social value in a sustainable and financially self-sufficient manner. It's important that projects are financed over their lifetime, because they're not generating revenue for themselves, and in many communities. The community cannot afford to finance the project. So the social entrepreneur will not just finance the setup of the project, but perhaps finance running the project over many years. And to that end, may have to set up some commercial enterprises, except they are not commercial in the same way as the business entrepreneur, in the sense, as I said earlier, they are now channeling their surpluses towards financing the social project, maintaining the social project. They are capable of combining social and commercial activities to achieve self-sufficiency and reduce reliance on donations and government funding. There's always the possibility they will be refused funding, so they try to make themselves self-sufficient. Likewise, projects financed out of donations can have a very precarious future. Sometimes people forget to donate, or perhaps change to donating towards a different project. So reliance on donations and government funding is not ideal, and to that end the social entrepreneur may set up organisations to try and generate revenues. The social entrepreneur may also use surpluses generated from business activities, use those surpluses to expand the social provision, perhaps bring online other parts that would be seen perhaps as luxurious from the perspective of the time period when there was no provision at all. So the social entrepreneur, through running businesses and generating surpluses, or if you like, generating profits, and dedicating those resources to the social enterprise, they have more or less guaranteed the existence of that enterprise for a long time, and that's to the benefit of the community. Social entrepreneurs may pursue two business strategies: non-profit but with earned income strategies. This is a social enterprise that is aiming to achieve self-sufficiency, not reliance on donations or on the government. In this case, the social entrepreneur operates an organisation that is both social and commercial. The focus of the organisation, however, is social. It's a social enterprise, but it has this commercial element to try and generate resources to finance it. The revenues and profits generated are used only to further improve the delivery of social values. Now, a second type is for profit but with social objectives. Now this one is, you can see from the title, it's different to number one. Number one was non-profit but with earned income strategies. Number two, for profit. So the business is now set up for profit, but it has this objective of making donations to social objectives. Entrepreneurs in these environments pursue a social purpose and also a commercial one. So it's hybrid. They are trying to make a profit, but at the same time they want to donate some of their profits to good causes, to social activities. They aim to provide a social benefit whilst simultaneously achieving sustainability. So they want the business to be secure, to be sustainable, they want to generate profits, but they also want to donate significant proportions of their profits to some social activity. The social entrepreneur operates an organisation that is both social and commercial. The organisation is financially independent and its investors can benefit from personal monetary gain. So the investors will get something back. They're invested in the business, they will get dividends or they will get some return on their investment. But some of the profit will also be dedicated towards social causes. Now let's look at the business entrepreneur and see what are the basic attributes of the business entrepreneur. Well, first of all, he or she bears risk. They undertake projects which could be quite risky. Generally speaking, they're good organizers. They are efficient in the way they organize the business. They know what needs to be done, the sequence in which it must be done. They know how to manage the business. They have got also good strategic, judgmental and analytical abilities. They're able to see the competitive nature of the world. They understand what they're working with and they understand the obstacles to what they're trying to achieve, and they're trying to work out strategies to enable them to get round these problems and to achieve the outcomes that they desire. So they have good powers of analysis and they have got good strategic understanding of the business and how they're going to achieve their objectives. There may be arbitrageurs. Now, an arbitrageur is a person who sees a difference in prices of assets or of commodities between markets and is alert to the fact that there is a difference in prices. So he or she is able to buy at the cheaper price and sell at the higher price. That's arbitrage. Technically, there is no risk in arbitrage. The entrepreneur in this case simply spots that there is a difference in price that exists at the same moment in time between two different markets and is able to therefore buy at the cheaper price and sell at the higher price. There's no risk. They know with certainty the product is there at that price and there is a demand in this market at a higher price, so they're able to buy cheap and sell high. And that's the nature of arbitrage. Now, the social entrepreneur, well, generally speaking, the social entrepreneur tends to be emotionally engaged. The social entrepreneur sees the need for something within the community. They see the need for some facility that doesn't exist, or perhaps it does exist, but in a very diminished form, in a very poor form. So they are emotionally engaged. They want this to happen. They want the society to benefit from some particular project. As I said earlier, it could be a new facility at the local school or a new water supply to a particular area or some particular activity. So they are emotionally engaged to try and achieve that. They are change agents. They do want to change the status quo. They see the status quo and they can see its inadequacies and they want to make changes. They've got good social and political awareness. They know what can be done and what can't be done. They know what the community would want. They're aware of the requirements of the community. They know what will upset the community. They know what the community desire. But they also know of the political constraints. And they know that the politicians see themselves as supplying the social services for the community. And the politicians, of course, may be somewhat jealous or upset if a social entrepreneur was to take on certain activities which they would have considered to be theirs and theirs alone. So there are issues that need to be taken into account by the social entrepreneur. But by and large, social entrepreneurs are talented at knowing the situations and knowing what can be done and trying to get the work done with the minimum upset for public representatives and for the local community and bringing a service to the community that was not there before and that the community will enjoy and benefit from. It almost goes without saying that the social entrepreneurs are good managers. So they're good at organizing what they're trying to achieve. They're very ethical. They don't want to cheat. They don't want to do a bad job or uh, provide a service which is dangerous or which is not fully uh, reliable. They want to do an honest job. They want to commit themselves to doing good work. So they are good ones. Uh, they are aware of the possibilities of corruption and taking cash which was perhaps aimed at a particular project and using it for their own purposes. They're aware of this and they don't do it. The good social entrepreneurs are ethical. They do not set out to damage the community or to cheat on the community. They are visionaries. They can see forward. They can imagine what the society would be like with the provision of some particular set of assets. They can think, if the society had that, if this community had something, had a better school, then the children would have a better chance in life. They can see that. So what they need to do is to try and promote perhaps uh, facilities for the school, and to do that by engaging in social entrepreneurism. Now let's look at the common characteristics between the two sets, the business entrepreneur on the left and the social entrepreneur on the right. Well, they're both innovative. Both can take the situation and try and make the most of it and use the resources that are available and use them in inventive and interesting ways and to try to solve the problem. They're thinking about what they have got, what they can do, and how they can achieve what they want to achieve. They're the ones who take the initiative. They're the ones who start the whole thing. They're the ones who persuade others to join in. They're the ones who see the benefits of the project. The business entrepreneur sees an opportunity in the market. The social entrepreneur can see the benefits to society of a particular facility. And they then go about persuading people to join them. They tend to be leaders. They tend to be uh, many of them quite charismatic leaders. They want to lead the project. They've got the vision. They they know what's required. So it's natural for them to be the leaders, and they are alert to the environment, to changes in the environment. They're constantly monitoring the political environment, the economic environment. Uh, they're not living in cocoons, just doing their own thing. They are alert to what's happening around them and looking for advantages out of what they see. Um, the they're also highly committed individuals. They dedicate a lot of their resources, their energy, to the achievement of the particular objective they've set themselves. The business entrepreneur to build a successful business, to fill a particular niche in the market. The social entrepreneur to provide the facility that he or she deemed necessary or desirable within that community. They are committed, and they're very dedicated. And dedication and commitment are linked, obviously, but dedicated means that they focus on the project. They focus on it to bring about the the delivery of that particular project. So the social entrepreneur will not, in a sense, give up until the project is there. The business entrepreneur will continue to provide the service that he or she deemed was necessary in the market. albeit to make a profit, to secure the business, to secure jobs, to keep the shareholders happy. The social entrepreneur to make the lives of the individuals within the community better. They are dedicated to this. So what we've got on the slide is a contrast between the business entrepreneur and the social entrepreneur, and we have some common characteristics that we can link to two sides, and we could insert those headings under each one and they would fit. So that's our talk on social entrepreneur, and that's all we're going to deal with this moment. So let's leave it at that and say thank you for watching.